Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to expose the freaky side of Rec Room. I will talk about the NSFW inventions on the game. In addition, there's a Rec Room NSFW Discord server that I would like to expose for messages that go against your morals and, more importantly, are straight up illegal. But stay tuned, because that's way later. Also, I would directly go against such NSFW of Rec Room creators, involving Rec Room players and Rec Room R34 in general. And without further ado, let's begin. For the past couple of years, there has been NSFW art flooding the Rec Room Maker Pen Invention stores. Some are completely free, others cost token, but either way are still accessible no matter what. The issue of this art is that people who are 13 and up can access this, and some juniors can also do that too. This is a note of concern for those that are, of course, minors, being able to access this stuff. And with a huge player base, there are of course people under the age of 13 joining Rec Room on adult accounts, which further extend this issue. This is because if there's people using adult accounts that are under the age of 18 or heck, under the age of 13, a lot, and I mean a lot, of these NSFW content is usually just accidentally shown to these people when joining the dorm room of others. This event can later result in disastrous health effects for the people involved. This can include addiction to adult content later in life, because the people that initially saw it try to search for it again and again and again. This is the problem that a lot of Gen Z people have had, and a lot of the upcoming Gen Alpha kids may have as well. It is integral that we prevent accidental exposure to adult content as much as possible. And I have the numbers to prove my point of view. In general, looking at statistics pertaining to involvement and exposure to adult content online at a young age, just 58 of youth report just stumbling across it completely by accident. In other words, the average exposure to such adult content is 13.2 years for males and 14.1 years for females. It could entirely be possible that Rec Room R34 and NSFW content could be exposing kids to this kind of stuff in an accidental way. It would be great if Rec Room could employ AI that helps prevent accidental exposure by analyzing content within different rooms to check if it is NSFW, and if it is such content, would prevent others from joining the room, or visibly blocking it so the canvas appears blank to other players. It would also block the content on streamer cam, which would prevent such stuff being broadcast online either accidentally or on purpose. This isn't the result of purposefully looking at and getting exposed to content. This is the result of accidental exposure to these R34 pieces and their creators. These NSFW inventions typically include drawings, costumes, custom shirts, and other things of familiar bits and bobs of the human body. Either way, it is integral that you report these inventions, and you report the players responsible for making said inventions. Additionally, we need to discourage people from having these inventions in private rooms, especially when they're inviting other players into those rooms. We need to keep this stuff away from children, but continuing to harp on the inventions that doomed a generation of Rec Room players and how they are against the Rec Room code of conduct will prevent us from showing the most deplorable portion of these things that this disgusting side of Rec Room has to offer. Let's look at that now. This Rec Room NSFW server is something against great morals, has a terrible reputation, and more importantly, has illegal material. Such illegal material is CSAM, or child sexual abuse material, and they have been sent in the form of GIFs in this Discord server. This is in addition to already grotesque and disgusting videos of gore, including GIFs of various animals getting abused and blended to death. I once was sent this very Discord server by Socus to look at for the purpose of a different video that's out on this channel right now, and for a video that he's still working on. But what I uncovered in there was way worse than I would have ever thought. Before I talk more in detail about this Rec Room Discord server, I want to explain what online Rec Room Rule 34 is in general, the art around it, and why it's necessarily bad. Rec Room Rule 34 is Rule 34 in which human body parts are portrayed and shown within Rec Room. usually with erotic roleplay or ERP being the center and forefront of these Rule 34 videos. 2 consenting people will go on Rec Room and perform the ERP to record and post online. Sometimes, one person will not have access to another person, so they try to outsource the second person for the sake of these Rule 34 videos. That's where this Discord server and other Discord servers come in. Some people draw other creators and RecTubers, often without their permission, in sexually explicit positions and situations. That specifically is against the creator's morals and wishes, but it's not necessarily illegal. However, now that I've told you about this stuff, I can tell you the illegal implications. The issue of these NSFW servers is that anyone can come. Minors, since on Discord, can join easily, and there is no NSFW restrictions on the Discord server for minors. Additionally, because the Rec Room NSFW videos are of course on Rec Room and not in real life, you can't tell what the ages of the individuals involved actually are, which means minors can lie about their age being included in these Rule 34 videos, or predators can manipulate child victims into making Rec Room ERP videos to be posted and traded around. Both outcomes resulting in actual CSAM content being on public forums with little to no repercussions, even though it is completely illegal, because again, you can't tell. The minors aren't the forefront because they are covered by a Rec Room avatar skin. This means there's a good chance that any form of Rec Room NSFW content is and will be CSAM. For the sake of this case, I'll use Adam Burns faking his age on this Discord server to prove my point, where minors are trying to join in on the ERP even though they should not, and it is against any and every moral code and law in the book. But that's not all. On this Rec Room NSFW server, there are bits of gore, and more importantly, actual, definite CSAM content. Upon scrolling up in the Discord server, past the gore, past the weird, actual Rec Room Rule 34, there was one daunting gift. This gift included 2 children, boys, who were what looked to be 10 to 12 years old, and they were doing explicit acts. While the activity was mostly invisible by the angle of the camera, what was not invisible were the genitalia of both children involved in the video, if I'm remembering it right. When I saw that, I freaked out and pretty much left that server within an hour because that behavior is truly disgusting and not hidden at all. Here's DM messages of predators from that very same Discord server, some trying to groom Soka specifically. For the sake of preventing bad actors from joining and finding this server, I won't show you the actual name of it or any content from it. I really recommend you watch Sokas' documentary about this very topic, because he will go more into detail about this. But I hope this video successfully exposed the bad adult side of Rec Room, and that we can continue to keep children safe on this lovely game. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye! But you can also just watch this video if you wanted to. If you want to watch more of my content, but if you want to leave, completely fine and up to you. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one.